Today's video takes us into a heartbreaking moment for one of Hollywood's most beloved couples. News has recently shaken the world about George Clooney, a man admired globally for his talent, charisma, humanitarian work, and charming leadership on and off screen. But behind the scenes, a tragic diagnosis has forced him and his wife, Amal Clooney, into a battle far more personal than any role he has ever played. As more details unfold, the world is seeing a side of Amal that is powerful, emotional, and incredibly human. This is the story of how George Clooney's tragic diagnosis has changed everything in their lives, and how Amal's reaction is revealing exactly who she truly is. For decades, George Clooney has stood as a symbol of strength, whether playing heroic roles in films, advocating for justice around the world, or supporting humanitarian causes with unwavering passion. So when whispers began circulating that something was wrong, fans hoped it was nothing serious. But according to those close to the actor, the diagnosis that arrived shook not only George but the entire Clooney family. While George has always been private about his health, insiders describe this diagnosis as something that changes everything. A moment that stops your life, forces you to rethink your priorities, and makes even the brightest stars feel vulnerable. This wasn't a small concern or a routine medical update. This was a revelation that left George confronting reality in a way he never anticipated. The news was devastating, and even those closest to him say it took time for George to process what he had just been told. Known for his sense of humor and light-hearted charm, he reportedly sat in silence for a long time, absorbing every word, every implication, every possibility. For the first time in a long time, George Clooney didn't know what came next. If there is one person who has been George's anchor through everything, his triumphs, political battles, philanthropic missions, and Hollywood successes, it is Amal Clooney. A globally respected human rights lawyer, Amal is known for her poise, intelligence, and unwavering strength in public. But this time, her world was shaken personally, not professionally. Sources close to the couple revealed that Amal's reaction was a powerful blend of fear, determination, and fierce protectiveness. She reportedly held George's hand throughout the conversation, refusing to let go even when emotions became overwhelming. For Amal, this was not just a medical diagnosis. This was a moment that threatened the core of her family, her marriage, and the future she envisioned with George. Those who have seen the couple behind closed doors say Amal immediately shifted into a mode of strength, insisting that they face this challenge together, step by step. Her response wasn't dramatic or panicked. Instead, it was deeply emotional yet incredibly composed. She reminded George that he was not alone, that she would walk beside him through every appointment, every test, every treatment. Her words reportedly brought George to tears, revealing a side of him the public rarely sees. Following the diagnosis, the entire rhythm of their home shifted. Meetings were canceled, schedules rearranged, and work obligations placed on hold. George, who has spent his life juggling multiple projects at once, slowed down significantly. The couple reportedly decided to prioritize time with their children and each other, focusing on family moments instead of the constant rush of Hollywood commitments. Amal, known for her demanding professional schedule, quietly stepped back from some of her international engagements. While she remains dedicated to her work, it's clear that her first priority has become George's health and emotional well-being. Even friends say the couple has grown even closer during this challenging period, communicating more openly than ever before. Insiders shared that Amal insisted on being present at every medical consultation, asking detailed questions and ensuring George felt supported at all times. She reportedly encouraged him to speak honestly about his fears, something he rarely does even with those closest to him. This diagnosis didn't just affect George's physical health. It transformed their emotional connection, strengthening it in unexpected ways. What lies ahead for George Clooney remains unknown, but one thing is certain. This diagnosis has changed everything. It has reshaped their priorities, deepened their bond, and reminded them of the fragility and preciousness of life. Amal's reaction has shown the world that behind her calm, polished public image is a woman of extraordinary emotional resilience. She is standing by George with unwavering focus, proving that their marriage is not just glamorous but deeply rooted in loyalty and love. If you found this story as emotional and compelling as we did, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. There is more developing information coming soon, and you'll want to stay tuned as we continue to follow George and Amal's journey. Thank you for watching until the end.